Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Om Agyana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitamtam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Yitinamane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna to everybody. Hope you're all doing fine by the wisdom of the sages, especially the wisdom of this great sage whom we are recollecting wonderfully, him describing from his observations in this material world amazing things. So the last time we discussed lesson from a least expected quarter from a prostitute. Pingala, the prostitute, he learnt lessons. It's not that this great sage visited Pingala. It is just that he observed and found out certain things and learned some very important things. I think the sage is a very keen observer. In life, actually, we pass through life sometimes in a rush. We don't have a mindful time to sit and see, think, reflect, and learn. A lot of time, jet set pace that we have, especially with the lifestyle that we live nowadays, we are forced to be mechanical. We are forced to snub and stub down and number intelligence. And we are forced to do certain things in a periodically monotonous way. And somewhere down the line, we have some satisfaction of work being done. And we are happy about it. But actually, there are serious and more important things in life to think about, to reflect on. We know this deeply, but we take the lower place because that is easier to execute. And we fill ourselves up with those activities, those mechanical activities, those safe things that we can hide behind with, oh, I got to go to work. I got this to do. I got that to do. Actually, what we're actually doing is we're attending to small things that are not really very, very important. But we are purposefully not attending to the big questions of life, the million-dollar questions about life, because they're afraid of facing them. We don't have the wherewithal for it. We don't have the equipment. Most of us are not trained and taught to face these million-dollar questions and ask them, because human life is meant for that purpose. It's not meant for doing those things which are easily done, routine stuff. That is easy to do. But the real million-dollar questions about life, what is happening? That's why many psychiatrists will advise, psychotherapists will advise, you should go up and face it, what you're afraid of. Actually, you will see that I was unnecessarily afraid of it. And when you face it, you grow in that. Many things happen to you. So this sage is different. He gets into everything. Why is it like this? And he applies his mind because he has all the time in the world for doing this. He is not busying himself with small activities. We hide behind busyness. We hide behind a profession. We hide behind some work. We hide behind this and that. And we don't really answer the big questions of life, which is what we are meant for. Nate vidu swartha gatim hi Vishnu. The people don't understand. Nate viduhu swartha. What is good for me? Gati, destination. These are big questions of life. My real gati is Vishnu. I must understand it. That is my swartha. That is good for me. That's what I should be searched for. So this sage is learning from everything he observes in the world because he has set himself for it. He has set the time for it. He has paid importance to it. He has set value for it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't mind not doing other things. So the Bhagavatam says that you should pay attention to this. It doesn't matter even if you don't do the other duties properly. Tyaktva swadharmam charanam bhujam harer bhajan apakko atapate tato yadi yatra kva va abadhram abut amushikim ho artha apta abhajatam swadharmataha. It says very beautifully that somebody, if he takes that risk and he plunges himself into Krishna consciousness, saying that this is what's important, maybe it's an immature step he took. Some people will think, Tyaktva swadharmam, all the duties, the small duties, material duties, Tyaktva, he gave it up. Swadharmam, charanam bhujam harir, Hari's charana ambuja. He caught on to the lotus feet of Lord Hari. But bhajan apakva atapate tato yadi. But he did not do that devotional service properly. It was apakva bhajan. Not paka, not ripe enough. And he fell down from that worship. Yatra kva avabhadram abut amushyakim. The Bhagavatam is asking, so what is wrong in that? It is much better to attempt this and not be able to do it than koartha apta abhajatam swadharmata, then not to attempt it and thereby not to worship Hari and simply do all your duties successfully. He says attempting and failing is better than doing all these small duties successfully. It's a very amazing statement. It's better you attempt and fail. You get much more marks for that. Then you simply doing all your small duties very successfully and getting even the Nobel Prize. You are unsuccessful. See the statement. So it's actually very good to sit and discuss these things and spend some time and deliberate. Who am I? What am I? What am I doing here? Why am I doing it? What's happening? Every day we must spend at least some time doing this. That the best way to do that is to open the Bhagavatam and read these amazing conversations and these amazing great saints talking, because they think deeply. When we associate with people who are not superficial and frivolous, but are going deep, we will also tend to think deeply. This sage is an amazing personality. That is why this King Yadu is going ahead and spending his time. Similarly, in the Bhagavatam, you have the Rahugana and Jadabharat's conversation. You will see there that Jadabharat is an insignificant palanquin carrier. And Maharaj Rahugana is an emperor. And it turns out that Maharaj Rahugana will get down and listen to this palanquin carrier, who is actually a highly realized person because he has enough time. He keeps his life very simple, uncomplicated by any of these other requirements and possessions. So similarly, we heard about Pingala, the prostitute. She has actually complicated her life with two things. One, she had a profession as a prostitute, and she was also enjoying the association satisfying her lusty desires, plus getting money. So we spoke about how in doing so, we will actually be facing many different situations. Here, Prabhupada is saying the art of prostitution is based on awakening the enjoying propensity in men. Apparently, this prostitute was so foolish that she maintained a romantic conception of her profession and was actually trying to enjoy loving affairs with her customers, not realizing that they were the lowest of men with the most abominable motives in life. So she struck in a realization. I'm just visiting this briefly to tie it up. The last time we discussed it, some people felt it is a thud on the chest, a little too strong. But these are the lessons this person is giving us. Yed astibhir nirimita vamsha vamshya stunam tvacha romanakai pinnadham ksharannavadvaramagharametat vinmutrapurnam madupaitikanya. This prostitute is finally having an amazing realization. What a stupid thing I've been doing. This body I've been trying to enjoy. I rent it out to people. I get money. I also enjoy. I thought it's a very smart thing that I'm doing. But this material body which I've invested in, which I'm trying to enjoy, is like a house in which I, the soul, am living. The bones forming my spine, ribs, arms, legs are like the beams, cross beams and pillars of the house. And the whole structure, which is full of stool and urine, is covered by skin, hair, and nails. The 9 doors leading into this body are constantly excreting foul substances. Besides me, what woman would be so foolish so as to devote herself to this material body, thinking that she might find pleasure and love in this contraption? Amazing realization she had. The realization of Pingala is amazing. If you read that, I've just taken a few more shlokas here for you to understand that she's not just a stupid prostitute. She is also capable of thinking. Every one of us, we may be doing stupid things in life. We may be having gratification and, like I said, indulging in the smaller things. But all of us have the potential for the big thing. We are evolved human beings. So this lady is having an amazing burst, a volcanic burst of realization. And that she figures out is because it's not possible for me. It has to be possible because Krishna, the Supreme Lord, has shown me mercy and he's doing it on me. This was another thing. Nu namme Bhagavan Prito Vishnu kenapi karmana nirvedo ayam durashaya yanme jatah sukavaha. Isn't it amazing? This devotee, this lady, can you see my screen? Something happened. Can you see my screen? Excuse
no,
me.
Maharaj. No, Maharaj.
Since when can't you see my screen?
From the very beginning, Maharaj.
I saw it, Maharaj.
Really? Oh. Little do I know that. I've been very busy, excited about this whole process. Okay, let's do that all over again. Sorry. Sometimes. So this is the recollection of what we did last time, that she said, I'm such a fool. And then we spoke that, we discussed that apparently this prostitute was so foolish that she maintained a romantic conception of her profession, is actually trying to enjoy loving affairs with her customers. We discussed that. And then the next thing she realizes this, which I read out, this material body is like, made of bones, like the main structure, cross beams and pillars and everything is the bone area. And then you have covered by skin and hair and nails. And then there are 9 doors leading to this body, constantly excreting foul substances. How can we think I am this body and look after it so carefully? It's such a lousy contraption. And in this, with this, I'm trying to enjoy. Then she says here, right, can you please read that, Dr. Sandhya?
Although I most stubbornly hope to enjoy the material world, somehow or the other, detachment has arisen in my heart, and it is making me very happy. Therefore, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, must be pleased with me. Without even knowing it, I must have performed some activity satisfying to him. Srimad
Thank you.
Bhagavatam.
So her reflection is pretty deep. She says, how come me, a prostitute, who'd just been completely engrossed sense gratification, spending every day made it a profession, and somebody like me can have such a realization that I've suddenly become happy because of detachment. And I realize this body is nonsense. This enjoyment is nonsense. I've been taken for a trip by material nature. I've forgotten God. I've forgotten the Lord who is sitting in my heart. That person is whom I have to direct all my love to. Forget it. I had enough of this. All of a sudden, she had the, what do you call, the capacity, the strength to detach herself and understand that she's unnecessarily attached to this material gratification through her body. So she realized that how is it possible that I'm able to do this all of a sudden? It must be Nirivedo ayam durashaya Vishnu kenapi karmana. It must be that Vishnu must be pleased in some way with me, that he is giving me his realization and is giving me the strength to become detached. It's a very important point to know. Detachment, knowledge, bhakti, all of them are not coming only by your endeavor. Of course, your endeavor must be there. But looking at your endeavor and looking at your sincerity, Krishna extends himself. The mercy of the Lord is most important. When Krishna was being tied by Mother Yashoda, there were always 2 fingers less. And Acharyas have mentioned that there are 2 things involved. One is the mercy of the Lord and one is your endeavor. Krishna saw his mother sweating, endeavoring, and not giving up. I must punish my son. I must tie him up. He's trying to play all sorts of tricks with me. It does not mean I'm going to tie him up. So it's mentioned that seeing his mother sweating, her flowers from her hair all fallen down, her sari going down, and this and that, he just smiled and said, okay, I'll allow her to tie, because she's trying very hard. That shrama she's doing. Similarly, for all devotees, when we endeavor, it's not that it's happening because of our endeavor. If at all, sometimes something is happening, progress in spiritual life, you must understand, endeavor is there, but Krishna is chipped in. Only when these 2 fingers come together, it happens. So she has this realization that I did not actually do much of an endeavor, but I was very disturbed and depressed, and I thought something is wrong, and that way I thought deeply and I understood. So it must be Vishnu who is showing his mercy to me. A person, please read that, Dr. Anita Subhash.
Yes, Hare Krishna Maharaj. A person who has developed detachment can give up the bondage of material society, friendship, and love. And a person who undergoes great suffering gradually becomes, out of hopelessness, detached and indifferent to the material world. Thus, due to my great suffering, such detachment awoke in my heart. Yet, how could I have undergone such merciful suffering if I were actually unfortunate? Therefore, I am in fact fortunate and have received the mercy of the Lord. He must somehow or other be pleased with me. Hare Krishna.
What an amazing statement. Thus, due to my great suffering, such detachment awoke in my heart. Yet how could I have undergone such merciful suffering if I were actually unfortunate? No, I am fortunate. That's why I went through suffering. Because I went through suffering, I got this realization. This is an amazing conclusion. You see, people in this world take the path of least resistance always. They seek pleasure and avoid pain. This is a psychology. Everybody seeks pleasure and avoids pain. If you see a big staircase going up to the 20th floor and you see a lift, which fool today is going to climb the 20th floor staircase? Nobody. Nobody. They'll immediately stand in a big queue for the lift. They'll never walk up the staircase. Unless there are some exercise fanatics and guys who want to climb the stairs and they're muscular, well-to-do guys, they may alone take up that process. So, pain and pleasure. But here the realization is, I have suffered pain, hopelessness. And because of that, I was forced to think deeply. And because of my thinking deeply, I understood the reasons because I'm attached. And then I became detached from it. Because of all the suffering and everything, the result was I became to hell with this. And immediately I became very happy. As soon as I gave up, I became very happy. So how can you say I'm unfortunate that I suffered? I'm actually fortunate. Why? Because I became detached. Because I became detached, I'm very happy. This is possible only if Krishna has shown mercy on me. This is a very amazing realization. So Pingala, it's mentioned, she went to sleep very nicely. Sukham Sushwapa Pingala. There are many more realizations of her in verses. I've just picked out 2 or 3 of them. So this great saints will say that Pingala that night went to sleep like never before. Why? It was very light. She became detached. Said, I'm simply going to depend on Krishna. Whatever Krishna sends to me is the best. I'm going to simply work on my love for Krishna. That's all I'm going to do. This was a great decision taken by that prostitute. And this sadhu could make out that this is what she has decided. So that's for reflection before we get into the next guru, the hawk. I thought that I should say these few things and tie up the Pingala, the prostitute lessons. Number 1, her stupid, foolish lifestyle. She thought she can sell her body because she had some assets physically. Then she thought this is a great program here. I also want to have affairs with different men. And I'm also lusty. So let me enjoy with different men, foolish guys. They give me money. I give my body. And in the process, I'm also enjoying. It's fun. I get money out of what I like to do. And in this way, I'm enjoying. So this was like a thing she went ahead with. And then she understood I'm actually being fooled by material nature. I am thinking I am this body. And I am a stupid guy. She came to that realization. Then from there, she slowly got the realization that I'm not this body and I'm a stupid person thinking I can get pleasure out of this body. Everything is going to come to an end. And then she realized God, Krishna, should be submitted to, and she did so. Instantly, she became happy and she went to sleep peacefully that night like never before. These are lessons that we can take in our life also. So, the next shloka speaks to us about the hawk. And this sadhu is observing that a young hawk, once a group of large hawks who were unable to find any prey attacked another weaker hawk who was holding some meat. At that time, being in danger of his life, the hawk gave up his meat and experienced actual happiness. This is a very simple thing. The young hawk having a piece of meat, and all these bigger hawks didn't find anything, they were hungry. As soon as they saw this young, weaker hawk possessing a piece of meat, they all violently attacked that hawk. And the small hawk said, what, you guys should be protecting me, yeah? You're elder, senior to me. And I'm just a chota guy, and I got some little thing to eat, I'm carrying it, I thought I'll take, but you're attacking me. And it must be because of this piece of meat that I have in my hands. All right? I leave it. I don't possess that anymore. As soon as that hawk left it, and it didn't possess anymore, the hawks just left him. If you have a possession, it will attract people to you. And it's not attracting people to you, it's actually attracting people to the possession you have. And as soon as you're dispossessed, they're no more interested in you. Who are you? Their value is not for you, their value is for the possessions that you have. Possessions attract envy. Possessions make you actually famous. Possessions make you somebody proud. Possessions does a lot of things to you. In fact, the whole world is moving with possessions. It's not that somebody has got good karma and they get to possess things, but he may not have a great intellect, he may not have great realizations, but he becomes great because he possesses money, wealth, asset, power, position. And that's why possessions are very important. When you want somebody to stick with you, you make him possess something. He will stick with you. Prabhupada used the word, possession turns sand into gold. If you give somebody, okay, this portion in the beach, this 10 square feet by 10 square, or 10 by 10, 100 square feet is yours for good. It may be full of sand, useless, nothing else to do. But it is mine. This 10 by 10 is mine. And they start holding the sand and, it becomes gold. Possession turns sand into gold, Prabhupada said. So in this world, everything is about possession. And people attack you because you have something valuable that you possess. So this small hawk understood that as soon as I gave up that, I became free from attacks. So this sadhu saw that. And he said, oh my gosh, it's all about possessions. If we have any material possession that will attract other people, it's dangerous to have any material possession. Possessiveness is one of the most important functions in this world. So this saintly Brahmana said, everyone, okay, somebody can read that. Can I ask Narendran to read it?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. The saintly Brahmana said, everyone considers certain things within the material world to be most dear to him. And because of attachment to such thing, one eventually becomes miserable. One who understands this gives up material possessiveness and attachment and thus achieves unlimited happiness.
This is the sadhu statement. Thank you, Narendra.
Thank you.
This is the sadhu statement. What I learned from this hawk is that if you give up material possessiveness and attachment, you are in for great amount of happiness, much, much greater than what possessiveness will give you. These are all secrets in life, actually. And people think it's stupid. But that sadhu has nothing with him. But he possesses happiness. Is free, is not loaded, burdened in any way. And he thinks that's far greater wealth for me than having these pieces of meat with me and attracting many people attacking me. If you want to be safe, give up everything. Just give it away. You know, Sanatana Goswami escaped from the jail. The Nawab Hussain Shah, Bengal, he really had great trust and faith in these two brothers, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. Rupa Goswami somehow smartly escaped. He left some wealth for his brother and told him, use this and get away from this guy. So as soon as Rupa Goswami got away, this Nawab Hussain became very disturbed because they were like the prime minister and the secretary of the Nawab, two of them. One is like the prime minister of the whole kingdom. The other one is like the private close secretary of the Nawab. In charge of all the treasury, they have everything in their hands. And they cared to hoots. They took only their possessions. And Rupa Goswami left. And then this Nawab became very disturbed and said, your brother is so irresponsible and you're also irresponsible. You have stopped coming to the office and coming to the palace. What's wrong with you? He came and met him at home. He said, I'm not well and all that. So he came to the home and said, what's wrong with you? Because his spies reported that, no, he's at home reading Bhagavatam with some brahmanas. He's doing chanting and kirtan and he's, not coming for the job. So the Nawab Hussain Shah went home and saw it, and he saw that this fellow is a saint. They said, I won't allow you to go. I know you'll try to escape like your brother. Put him in the jail. So they put him in a big dungeon. Even today, you can see that dungeon. It is there in Malda, the place called Malda. You can see the prison that Sanatana Goswami was put into. A very interesting place. Then inside that prison, Sanatana Goswami, very cool. He was just chanting Hare Krishna. I think he said, definitely Krishna is a plan for me. And he's putting me through all these things. So in the prison, the warden, the keeper of the prison, to him, he started preaching and talking to him. He was a mullah with a long beard and he was a very devout Muslim. To him, he understood human psychology and possessiveness, everything. And he was completely dispossessed. All he wanted was Lord Chaitanya's mercy and seva from him, and wanted to go and join him. That's all. They're not at all bothered. They're very rich. They simply gave away the wealth. 50% of the wealth, Rupa Goswami simply gave away to needy people, brahmanas and this and that. Out of the rest of the 50%, 25% he left for Sanatana Goswami or something. Another 25% he gave, donation to Vaishnavas or something like that. He hardly took anything with him. He just left. Sanatana Goswami also was told where the money is there available for him and everything. So in the prison, very carefully, because these are very powerful diplomats, bureaucrats, and they have handled huge issues and everything for the Nawab. So for him, it was easy to sit in front of the warden and say, and establish a small relationship with him. Because previously he was, all these people were working under him. So he said, you must do a favor for me. I've done so many favors for you before. He said, what is it? And then he took a huge bag of gold coins and put it in front of him and said, you must escape. You must allow me to leave. Escape. He said, oh, I am a Muslim. Allah, inshallah, I'll never do that. I cannot do that. What will happen if the Nawab comes to know? He'll kill me. I cannot do that. Then he said that, you see, I am going to be a mendicant. Actually, he told him, I am going to renounce and going to Mecca. I'm going to Mecca to have Hodi Darshan there. And I'm going to fully renounce, and you must help me to do that. After all, I'm just going to Mecca. It's your duty to help me. And he said, no, but what will happen? He said, nothing will happen. You don't have to worry. You just have to tell that I went to the toilet, and then while going to the toilet with my chains and everything in my hand, it slipped and I fell into the waters and drowned. That's all you have to say. They'll believe it. They believe it. Don't worry, I'm telling you, nothing will happen to you. And he said, no, then Allah will never forgive me. He put another bag of gold coins in front of him and said, see, you can enjoy life with this. You don't even have to be a warden anymore. For the rest of your life and for all your next 2-3 generations, you don't need to have anything. And his eyes became so big. He said, it's perfectly all right, don't worry. So he used this psychology that money works. He made him possess all this wealth. And he left and he allowed him to escape, and he escaped. And then he went all the way with, nothing in his abode. He was very happy. And he just got his assistant, Ishana, with him. And they walked through this thing, and they walked across the forest. In the forest, it was late night, and it was like difficult to go with wild animals there. So across just when they entered the forest, they saw an inn, a staying place. And the innkeeper, when Sanatana Goswami came in his ragged clothes and looks and with his assistant, innkeeper was giving him very strange looks. And Sanatana Goswami is so sharp that he immediately asked Ishan, do you have anything with you that you're carrying which is valuable? And Ishan told him, I got 8 gold coins. He said, what a stupid fellow you are. Why did you bring this with you? It's a death knell. Why did you bring this with you? Especially in this forest with all this saying, give me that. He just took it and just gave it to the innkeeper. He said, here it is. And then the innkeeper immediately smiled and said, you are a very wise man. Because I was planning to kill both of you and take these 8 gold coins, which I came to know that you have. So he said, you can take everything. I have nothing with me. All I request you to, tomorrow morning, show me the way across, and I need to go to Puri like this. So the innkeeper became very happy and he said, don't worry, I'll do everything for you. Sleep safely, you're not in danger. He took good rest. And in the morning, he told Ishana, you're a dangerous guy, don't come with me. You have 1 gold coin left with you, take it and go back. And I just don't need anybody with me. I can walk through the forest alone because I don't have any possessions with me. In this way, he went. This is an amazing story of possessions. He walked happily. And on the way, somewhere there, his nephew, Shrikant, met him and said, my dear uncle, where are you going? Why are you looking like this? What happened to your dress and this and that and all that? He said, don't worry. I am, completely given up all these things. I don't need all these things anymore. I'm going to, at least, please take it. So cold in the night. Please take this blanket with you. And he gave a new blanket, woolen blanket, wrapped him. He said, okay, my nephew is saying so. And he was chanting Hare Krishna and going all the way. And then finally he arrived, I think in Varanasi, where Lord Chaitanya was there. Lord Chaitanya knew that Sanatana Goswami is coming. So Sanatana Goswami coming, and he was very dirty, hair all grown, and he'd been walking for days and days and days, no food, nothing. He came and sat in front of the door in the corner. He was so tired that he was just drowsy, waiting for it to open. But inside, Lord Chaitanya told his assistant that outside, Sanatana Goswami has come sitting. Please bring him in. So he went outside and saw, where is Sanatana Goswami? Because in his mind, he was thinking, a nicely shaved person with tilak and a devotee with japamala in his hands, fresh and, But when he looked at this beggar, he thought some beggar with a cloak around hanging here. It must be somebody slept for the night here or something. He didn't look at him at all. He said, there's no Sanatana Goswami here. Went back and told Lord Chaitanya, there's nobody out there. He said, did you see properly? Yeah. Is there anybody there? Lord Chaitanya asked, yes, there is one Darabesh, means hippie, some roadside guy. That is the person. Bring him in. He said, that is Sanatana Goswami. And he just went out and he brought him, please come inside, because he thought he's some beggar. Instead, he came inside with this thing. First thing Lord Chaitanya saw was that blanket. He looked at it immediately and then embraced Sanatana Goswami and all that. But Sanatana Goswami noticed that there's a brief second that Lord Chaitanya looked at the blanket. So new blanket. Where did he get this from? And then, so immediately he noticed that he's looking at this. And then Lord Chaitanya told his assistant, told him, I forget the name of, I think it is, anyway, I told him that you please look after him, give him a bath, give him new dress, give him good food. He has been like that. So when he told him that, here is some good cloth, new cloth for you, he said, no, I don't want new cloth. Any waste cloth that is a used cloth, that's what I'll take. And then he went down to take his bath. He used that blanket and went down to take his bath. And he went down to take his bath. He saw a tourist guy from Bengal, playing his violin, some tarang instrument, and waiting for his quilt to get dried. He had just, washed it, and then he was sitting there with his small gamcha, and then he went to him and said, I'll give you this new quilt. Can you give me your torn quilt here? He said, what's wrong with you? This is, it's at least some 10 years old. And I've been using it for so long and it's already torn. I just washed and put it. You wash and put it, you can take this new quilt. Really, are you sure? He said, yeah, please, please. He said, okay, I don't mind. I think the Lord is blessing me today with some new quilt. He took that torn quilt, put it around him and went back. When he went back after his bath and everything, Lord Chaitanya smiled at him. And he said, You see, when a physician is treating a patient, he will make sure that the disease is, the virus or the bacteria is completely removed. Why will they leave a little bit of it left there? Because it will relapse and he will again become sick. He just said this to him. And Sanatana Goswami understood he's talking about the quilt. You've given up so many things. Now, why you hang around with this one quilt? That could be the reason for you suffering. Give up that also, and you'll be very happy. And that's what he did. And Sanatana Goswami became very happy in the shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And there's a lot more about Lord Sanatana Goswami and his dispossession. So we should take lessons from this. It's important to us to understand very well what is dispossession. We should keep life to a minimum. Should not be unnecessarily tempted to buy a lot of things and not use them and possess them. And many times we buy things and we just possess them and we may not even use them. Right? And we should be careful about living yadricha labha santushta. Today they call them minimalists. I just take what is required for me, that's all. And I just I'll have little to manage and that's enough. Just what I need. Smart way to live is to dispossess and only possess as much as is basically necessary for keeping the body and soul together. It's a very important lesson for us to learn from the hawk. So these are lessons that we can learn today. One is dispossession and the dangers of possessiveness. And the last bit about Pingala the prostitute, her realizations, which are so nice, beautiful prayers, helps us to become a little more wiser. Wisdom in this world is of a different type, really. Real wisdom. The wisdom that, so-called wisdom that people give us by their material experiences, so that you may enjoy better in this world, you may progress better in this world, is actually not really wisdom. It is trappings of the material world. That's what we can learn from the sadhu. A wise man can see through it, and very intelligently he navigates his way with detachment, dispossession, and very smart living, using only what's necessary, and trying to all the time remember Krishna, remember who he is in connection with Krishna, and perform intelligently devotional service and get the hell out of here so that there's no more entanglement. That is what we learn from all these very smart sadhus. Om Tat Sat. Any question or comment? Lessons from the hawk and lessons from the prostitute. Any question or comment?
Hare Krishna Maharaj Ji, Dhanvat Pranam.
Yeah.
Maharaj Ji, what is the meaning of yatra chalava santushtaha?
Yadricha labha means by its own arrangement. Yadricha labha, santushtaha means remaining satisfied and happy. Labha means profit. Yadricha means when it comes on its own accord, by the arrangement of the Lord. Whatever comes, I'm happy with it. Yadricha labha, santushtaha. I'm satisfied. Like Vamanadev will tell Bali Maharaj that actually satisfaction is the greatest possession. If a person has satisfaction, then with whatever he gets, he's satisfied, and he will tell him that very beautiful shloka, I forget the beginning of that. It says that Shakkara Kantaka Dibyo Yatopanam Padashivam. It's like wearing a shoe and not wearing a shoe. If you're not wearing a shoe, a pada rakshaka, then you will have to go through stones and thorns and twigs and this and that and sharp, and your feet will get hurt. But if you have a small shoe, whatever it's made of doesn't matter. you can happily walk confidently and you're peaceful. So Vamanadev said, satisfaction is like wearing a shoe. If you're satisfied, you can move around anywhere in this world. Yadricha labha santushtaya. It's one of the greatest of possessions of a wise man. Okay? Nitai Priya Sumukhi, I hope that that's useful to you.
Thank you so much.
Gopi Krishnan, who's that? Oh, Prabhavi Gopi. And Sureshwar Shrikant.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, this point which you said regarding we get busy behind our busy. I mean, we hide behind our busyness and our profession, and then we do all kinds of mechanical things and feel satisfied that we are getting some work done. You know, that is a very common disease.
Yes.
I mean, we feel happy and satisfied that we have some work we are doing and some work is going on in this material world. You know, and then sometimes we try to think we are doing karma yoga and we are actually advancing because we are doing karma yoga. Could you speak a little bit more on that, because it feels like a very common disease which even I have. So
we all have it. This world is called karma bhumi, and the disease of the conditioned soul is his fruitive tendency. All these work together. That's why Krishna elaborately describes what is work actually in this world. And he concludes, Yajñartat karmano anyatra loko yam karma bandhana. Introduces Arjuna to devotional service and various levels of work down the line. And he talks about the bewilderment of the conditioned soul, thinking he is the doer. Ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. And he also says that nahi kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarmakrit. And you cannot be without doing work at all in this world. You'll be pushed by the modes to do something. So work and performance, and then enjoying the fruit of it and possessing proprietorship over the work that you did and the fruit that you enjoy, all this is part of the conditioning. It's not really doing you any good. Why? Because it's keeping you away from focusing on the main thing. It's a distraction. Because you become fruitive, many times we get more attached to the work we have to do, and we possess it, and we like to do that. This is called karmi. Karmi means get very attached to work, because it validates himself, and he feels that, wow, I'm useful, I'm leading a meaningful life. And at least my generation of people belong to the work culture, the industrialized nations. When everybody, if you have a job, you're considered to be a very successful boy. You got something to do in life, and you're getting money. And then because of that, your family members are all very happy and secure and safe. And we are a happy family. I have my property, I have my house, I have my car, I have bank balance, and my 2 kids' education is all looked after. I am successful. I work very hard. And this is considered to be success. But actually, according to the Bhagavad Gita, such a person is considered to be a donkey. Very, very hard words Krishna uses. I used to feel very angry those days. I was in my profession as a design engineer, and I was reading, I said, what do you mean, Moda? How can Prabhupada say all these things about the working people? We're contributing, we're increasing the GDP of the country, and we are, one of the most important people, the workforce. Toilali, the sickle and the communist guys, wow, power and all that. But over a period of time, I understood what the bosses do, what the proprietors do, how they don't work and make us work, and what, manipulations they do and all that. And then it made me feel stupid. It didn't make me feel very happy. But over a period of time, as I kept reading Prabhupada's book, I understood I am a donkey. It's right. It's true. Because when you have the secret of Krishna consciousness and what Krishna is revealing, why am I not able to indulge in it? Why have put myself in such a position where I cannot indulge in it? It's right there in front of me. Krishna says, do it. Man mana bhava mad bhakta, but I'm not able to do it. And I'm very busy attending to so many silly, frivolous things and thinking that I don't have time, I don't have time. But yeah, if you don't have time for this, then you're doomed. It's all these small things are just going to just eat your time away. They're not really, they're just fooling you. So this is one of the first realizations I had early in Krishna consciousness, that I don't think I'm being engaged properly. Even if I get the biggest money and everything, deep inside there is a vacuum. It's not filled up. Externally, you fill up some things and people say, great things about you. And you think, therefore, it's great. People actually kill you by saying all sorts of things and rewarding you and speaking great about you, which is very easy for them to do also. Everybody is trained in speaking glories about somebody else artificially. It's actually a pretty dirty world. Nobody is involved in the truth. Nobody speaks the truth. Everybody has a false thing, and they all know that something is wrong, but they continue doing it and perpetuating it. If you read the Gita very carefully, read the Bhagavad, then you understand something really wrong with these people. Not to focus on these instructions given by Krishna. It's so plain, so simple. So we should not doing this hiding program. Our educational system, our jobs, everybody, all of them force us to just do the hiding program. That's why this revolution, this hippie culture and all that came in when Prabhupada was in America also at the right time, is because they were asking this foundational question, what the hell? I mean, what's happening? And some of the richest people were asking these questions and giving up and going on the streets and just drugging themselves and asking questions which nobody is answering. In came BHAKTI VINODA SWAMI Prabhupada and answered their questions. They became immediately devotees. It's not that they are bad guys. Nobody is answering their question. But people will say, go get a job, yaar. What are you sitting and hanging around here? But no, he is asking questions as nobody is answering. And then you're telling him, go get a job. He cannot work if these questions are not answered. So it's not that people are bums and they're not capable of doing anything. It's Prabhupada who, God, you're not bums. I'll teach you what to do. And they became very highly valuable for themselves. Prabhupada brought out of them, you are of great value. You're spirit soul. You're part and parcel of Krishna. And then their whole psychology changed. They started looking at themselves as very important people. And they went around telling everybody else, you're also important. Wake up. So in this way, without contributing to the regular so-called, donkey cycle that being perpetuated on humanity, Prabhupada has created an alternative lifestyle. You can serve Krishna, you can chant Hare Krishna, you can serve humanity by teaching them this. It's an amazing, revolutionary, foundationally very revolutionary thing that Prabhupada has done. Janataga viplavo yasmin pratishlokam abadhavatyapi. It's mentioned in the Bhagavatam that Janataga viplava means revolution. The Bhagavatam creates a revolution. So it's a work culture revolution, and you don't have to hide anymore behind some silly things. We can do the best thing, be engaged in the topmost occupation, and be proud about it. And tell people, you should also do this. I hope that helps you, Prabhupada Gopi. Yeah, Sureshwara Shrikant.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Am I audible, Maharaj?
You are very audible and clear, as you always are.
Thank you for the wonderful session, Maharaj. So when we are talking about detachment and all those things, so I have this certain perspective. I wanted to validate that, and I got certain aspects, so I just wanted to share that. So one is that, Maharaj, like for example, today we live, like you're talking about industrial age, but today we live in a information age where it's like we use Gen AI, LLMs, ChatGPT, Grok, so many smart systems have come into play where we can convert so much of information and bring out valid perspectives more stronger than before in terms of preaching, which I would lately felt in my college, in my office during a cultural event. I actually did a storytelling where I connected Tirukural and Silapadigaram and Bhagavad Gita, everything, and we made a wonderful story with AI images, everything, with the background music for a 10 minutes thing, and people felt
I want to
wow.
see it.
I shared it in the social media, Maharaj. It's there. But no, but what I was feeling in the back of the head when I'm saying all this thing is that I'm able to connect all this. This is because I have the habit of, maybe because of my profession, because I work in data and aspects of this, data scientist and everything. I love connecting the data, collecting more information, gathering it and merging it and all those things. While the previous questions we were talking about how this is an aspect towards a karmi mind, but I also see a result out of it where if the intentions are better in projecting something in a much more effective things. I felt, am I doing it in a right sense, or am I just being a karmi here? I just don't know. I just wanted to validate this mindset.
Well, that's not a answer. That's not a question that I can immediately answer pinpointedly and put my finger on it, because I need to speak to you more about it. Definitely. But generally speaking, it's a good point that you've raised. That are you saying, your question actually is, I like what I'm doing. That is, I'm trying to connect with what I'm doing with also the reality of the Bhagavad Gita, some other wisdom available from elsewhere, and put it together. Well, it's great. You're able to do that. But the problem with such things is that you can get stuck there only. You can go round and round there only. If on my way, I have a destination, and on my way, I'm doing interesting things, but I know I have to reach this, then that's a different type of a thing. But if you don't see your destination, you don't see the vision, the goal, and then do these things, then sometimes you may get stuck. That's the statement of the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam. Keep your goal in mind, keep a goal in vision, and then you may enjoy many things on the way. But if you don't have the goal in place, you may get stuck with so many interesting things in this world. But it may, trap you into losing the bigger things and accepting something attractive, because the material world is full of attractive things. Remember Bharat Maharaj got attracted by a deer in the forest. He was a very intelligent person. He gave up so many things. And then that material energy, which is so powerful, came in the form of a small, cute deer and took away his entire attention and everything. That's the meaning of Krishna saying, Mama Maya Duratyaya. Be very careful of my material energy. So we should place things in perspective correctly. The goal of my life is to achieve love of Krishna. As mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam, many great personalities did that. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to get at. If you keep that, and then there may be a little bit here, a flash of nice things happening here, there, but I don't lose sight of the goal. Right? If you lose sight of the goal, then what happens is these things that we do also sometimes face challenges, and they become huge things in front of you. But actually, they are very small in the face of the goal that you're talking about. Because you've lost sight of the goal, all small things will become very big. But if you keep the goal in perspective, these small things will remain small, although you indulge in them a little bit here and there. That's the real thing that's happening. I hope that helps. Manju Mali Sri Devi Dasi and Gayatri. Yeah, go ahead.
Please accept our humble obeisance, Maharaj. Little
Yes.
bit we feel anxiety and fear little bit. So we pray you keep us in your prayers.
Om Tat Sat.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Please keep chanting and reading the Bhagavat. and having the association of some devotees who are in Bangalore or some this thing. And
Yes, ma'am.
that's the most natural solution. Fear is mentioned in the Bhagavatam, that fear occurs. Bhayam dvitiya biniveshata sayad ishad ape tasya viparyayo asmriti. Everybody who is disconnected from the Supreme Absolute Truth has to be in fear. Because fear is because of disconnect. First foundational thing was understand. When you're disconnected, you will automatically get afraid. So wherever this, like the sadhu is somewhere in the forest lying like a python, it's mentioned. He is not at all afraid. He's learning from things. He's just happily sharing his wisdom also. It's not saying it's copyrighted. This is data, you cannot steal from me, da, 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 and all that. He cares to hoots. He's sharing it with the king. He's not afraid of anything. Why? He's very strongly connected with the absolute truth. He knows the reality. He knows where he belongs. He knows nobody can destroy him. My connection with the absolute truth, Krishna, also can never be destroyed. In this way, when we get more connected, that's why it's called yoga. Yoga means connection. When we get connected through bhakti to the Supreme Lord, your fear will gradually disappear. The fear present means we know we need to work a little bit or more on the connection. So when you feel fear, you loudly chant Hare Krishna, take shelter of Krishna, read Bhagavad Gita, and definitely you'll feel better. Okay?
Yes, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Om Tat Sat. Since there's no other question, wish you all a happy Ramanavami the day after tomorrow.
Maharaj, just one person raised the hand.
Oh, okay. Bhupalaka GD.
Hare
Who is
Krishna Maharaj.
Bhupalaka GD? Yeah.
Bhupalaka Govindas Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I actually have one tendency that if I want to do something, I had to do it immediately. I can't wait like that. And another thing is, if I don't do it at that time, I feel left out and I never accomplish that. So is this a kind
Why
of...
I'm looking for people like you for the project that I'm having.
Yes, Maharaj.
I mean, exactly people like you who just have to do it then and there. No delays will occur.
But then
Yeah.
I actually, if I don't get to do that, then I feel very inquisitive, and my mind keeps a lot of pondering, and finally, most of the times I end up in doing the wrong thing. So what is the instruction? What is the things I should avoid, Maharaj?
But
Right.
you have not, I cannot answer some of these questions fully that will be fit enough for you as a solution, because I don't know you fully. And when you
Correct.
say the thing that I want to do, which I like to do and I want to do, what is it? Is it something about reading the Bhagavatam and or chanting 64 rounds a day, or is it about serving Krishna this thing, or is it about your project in your company sending rockets into space, which you're not able to do, and if SpaceX is doing better and Elon Musk has all the money in the world and you don't have, what is it exactly that you're not able to do? I don't know. So it could be many things. It must be
Yes,
some part of your profession that you're not able to do or something like that. Well, for those things, you can't do anything much because it will going to work as per your karma. If it's a material function that you're talking about that you feel I must do, sometimes you must do, you will do it and you will enjoy the result. Sometimes it won't happen, and that must be because it's not supposed to happen. Because as per Bhagavad Gita, there are 5 factors for something to happen. Daivam Chaivatra Panchamam. The 5th factor is God, Krishna. It's not that everything takes place exactly as per everybody's plans. Butch Wilmore and Sunita Williams had a plan to come back within so many weeks or something back to the world, but they hung around for 9 months or so somewhere in a space station somewhere, unable to come back because of some flaw. And I think now they are back. So everything doesn't work exactly like we plan in the material world. There are many factors involved, our karma, and all these other things involved. So we should not be very attached. It will only create misery. That's what you read in Pingala's this thing. If we are very attached to the result and what we do and we want to do like that and all that, it may result in misery. So let's take it easy. If it's not happening, okay, I'll try again. If it's not happening, okay, let us set it aside. Let's do something else and return to it later. You should know the art of adjusting it so that it doesn't disturb you. Rather, you would say, okay, let's read Bhagavat. That's something that can always happen for me. If I plan for Bhagavatam, if I plan for chanting more japa, going to the temple, being with some devotees, maybe these things would definitely happen. And you may feel that this is one area where if I plan, things are happening and I'm executing.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Okay. Om Tat Sat, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, good night.